the vegans to see this here.
Hide that.
Yeah, just record us. Oh, okay. Well, get the two of us here. We'll get him more than me. I just
I'll be witness relocation. We exist.
Is anybody
Howdy.
watching? Anybody out there? Hello. Hi, how are you? Is anybody out there? And pay attention to me. I'm important. All right. Well, anyway, I guess for people, if nobody's watching, maybe we should just record it then.
Well,
This Graham Smith's watching. What's up, Graham? How you doing?
Graham.
All right. Okay.
Well, it gets posted anyway later.
So I have a few questions for Larken Rose to hopefully get this anarchy thing going out a little bit more. So anyway, question number one, Larken, why is the Constitution a bad thing?
I'll do my turbo version of all these answers.
Go
Fast,
for
I think.
it, yeah.
Because it pretends to give a certain group of people rights that the rest of us don't have, which means it's illegitimate and it's authoritarian. And the fact that later on it says you're not allowed to do this and this and this, all things that they do every day anyway, doesn't erase the fact that it is 100% an authoritarian document that pretended to create a ruling class.
And that's why it's bad, because it actually made a ruling class. The Bill of Rights not so bad, right?
Yeah.
The Constitution's the problem.
Yeah.
Hence, Constitution.
Yeah, if they had stopped after Congress shall make no law, we'd be in good shape. But
Right,
they had to
right.
keep going, so.
Okay, second question. What's the difference between kingship and what we have today?
A longer excuse for the BS. The divine right of kings has been replaced by the divine right of politicians, and they really do just make a big convoluted excuse of, well, now there's constitutions and there's elections and there's appointments and there's two houses and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It's actually less sane, because if somebody says, God told me to rule, it's more difficult to disprove that than it is to disprove the notion that a piece of parchment gave you the right to rule me.
Right. So Obama and Trump are basically just kings, and now they just give us the idea that we can just like our vote counts or something like that, and maybe things will get better, but it doesn't ever.
Yep.
Okay. Question 3: is there a difference between Trump and Obama, which is kind of like what I just said?
It's just flavors of slave master and what they want to rob you for and what behaviors they want to control. Fundamentally, they think they have the right to rule and violently dominate anybody, so it really is just the difference between, do you want to be owned by that person or by that person? And the only moral sane answer is no, I don't want to be owned by either one of them.
All right, so it's kind of like Breyer's ice cream. Like, one's white, one's black, and then in the middle they have the pink stuff, which is probably closer to the good thing, especially if you're not gay. What's it called? Was Jesus an anarchist?
As close as I can tell, yeah. I know no instance in which he advocated that somebody violently dominate somebody else in an authoritarian way.
Right.
And he was all about leave people alone and do unto others as you would have done unto you. So unless he was also a masochist who wanted to be violently dominated, which I don't see, then the do unto others thing kind of requires somebody to be an anarchist.
Right. And he rebelled against the state, and that's why they killed him, right? It wasn't because he was, right, yeah, he was gathering people to be like, hey, these people don't have rights that we don't have.
Now, they were just law enforcers following orders, and if he hadn't committed a crime, then they wouldn't have had to nail him to a cross.
Right. They had a different name for
It's his
those
own
people
fault.
back then.
He's a
Yeah.
criminal.
Okay, finally, my last question. Who will build the roads? That's a very popular one that I'm sure you've heard quite a few times,
The same people who build them now, only the politicians won't steal 90% of the funding before it happens.
Interesting.
And it's so silly because, as I pointed out a million times before, you won't catch politicians and tax collectors and bureaucrats out there building roads. It's just people getting paid. The only difference is you remove the middleman and you pay people yourself to build roads you want. Or Pizza Hut will build the roads because.
Right. I think it was Domino's actually, or whatever it
Domino's,
is.
sorry.
Yeah. Which is interesting because their actual logo has holes in it, which makes you wonder. Maybe they were prepared for it. I'm not really sure. Okay, and I have one final bonus question for you too, just based on the whole thing we've been discussing lately. What's it called? Being we're leaving the outback. If we came out front and there were a bunch of angry vegans going like this, how would you handle it? Bad joke. You don't have to answer.
I would ask them to be honest about what they believe, and then they'd get really mad and run away.
There we go. Come to the dark side. Anarchy's the future. Have a nice day.